Hello, thank you for coming to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I am your host, Terry Hansen. Today I would like to talk to you guys about how I bought this house. I only paid $10,000 for it. It was built in 1986. It has composition roof, T111 siding, and it has a 9-inch eaves around the house. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, cathedral ceilings in the dining room, kitchen, living room, and entry. This home was available to me through a friend of mine who had purchased, her and her husband had purchased a farm 6 miles down the road from here. They wanted to build their dream home, so they sold me this house for cheap. This house comes complete with the decking, the porch, and all the awnings. The terms were $3,000 down and $300 a month until it was paid for. I paid for it in a relatively short period of time. I believe it only took me 9 months to pay this house off. So now we hold the house mortgage-free. I paid $2,700 to a company to come in and move the house for me. I had my friend and my son help me in knocking out the foundation around the house that it was sitting on. I hired the crew to come in and disassemble the house, take it apart, put the axles on, and move it up to my friend's ranch where I stored it for about 3.5 years until I found this property, Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. So this is the story of buying the house, taking the house apart, moving the house, storing the house for 3.5 years, and moving it to the new property, Pine Meadows Hobby Farm, and setting it up again.
This is the house the day we first saw it. We were checking it out to determine if indeed we were going to purchase it, and we found that we really liked the house, so we went ahead and purchased the house from the owners. The house came complete with that awning you see over the carport, the front deck, the front awnings, and a back porch. We tore out the foundation. My friend and my son helped me tear that out with sledgehammers in preparation for the movers to come and get the house ready for moving. The movers were getting the house ready to slide it apart to separate the two halves, and then they were going to install the axles under the trailer and of course remove all the pure block foundation. I was able to take all of the pure blocks back up to the ranch with me so I could store those and use those at a later time when I put the mobile home together over here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. The tongues were welded on and everything was ready to move. Here it shows the home separated. They got the house separated. I got some nice photos up from the inside and the outside of the house while it was separated before they put the vapor barrier on to cover it and protect it from the winter weather for the 3.5 years it's stored. This is from the kitchen vantage point, and this is from one of the bedrooms. This is the master bedroom viewpoint and the front of the house. You notice the deck is gone, so is the awning, and it's ready to move. Here's the movers. They've come to get the house, and they've moved it up to my friend's ranch where we were able to store it for 3.5 years. You have a storage permit you purchase from the county. It's relatively inexpensive. You just have to renew the permit periodically. So we stored it until we found a piece of property to buy. When we found the property, it was just 1 mile down the road from this ranch, so we moved it down there and set it up here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. Here you see I put the vapor barrier down, placed all the cement blocks according to the code spacing, which is 5.5 feet on center. Here we have us placing the ridge line roofing on, or the roofing on the ridge line. My son is up there on the roof helping me. His friend is doing the videotaping. And we attached the electrical service to the mobile home after we got our permits. And then here we were able to tie in the sewer lines. Hang a hanger on the sewer lines according to code. And of course you have a clean out right there. The water pipe I had my neighbor across the street, who is a plumber, come in and install that line for me. I built that water valve line, and then I coated it with this foam rubber insulation piece to keep it from freezing during the cold winters. This valve will be covered. Here is the box and the packaging for the crossover venting, the flexible venting that is 1 foot diameter that I had to install under the mobile home. It extends from the outlet of the furnace over to the heating ducts on the other half of the manufactured dwelling. Those cement bags I had to haul. 125 cement bags, 80 pounds each. Here I was exchanging my keg for a 6-pack, constantly lifting all that weight. In addition to all those cement bags, I collected 280 cement blocks for the foundation. I dug the trenches around the perimeter of the house, 150 foot of trench, in preparation for putting in the forms. The forms are made out of 2x6, 20-foot long beams that I use for my raised beds in my garden that I'm going to be building. I wrap them in black visqueen, 4 mil thickness, and that way it'll release easily from the cement once it's dried. You'll see that within the trench I've already laid the rebar. There's 2 runs of rebar that are spaced around there. I am adjusting the foundation forms so they'll be straight with the house when I go in preparation to mortaring in the cement block.
I have to use painting shears to get rid of the root. Oh, that one will break off. Okay.
Adjust the forms so they come even with the edge of the house. So when I put my foundation blocks in, they'll be in the right space.
The foundation will consist of 150 feet of cement runner. The cement foundation, or the footing, is approximately 12 inches wide, 6 inches deep, and 150 feet around the perimeter of the house. This is according to the specifications from the mobile home code book I downloaded off the internet from the Salem. The cement blocks, there'll be 3 layers of cement blocks across the front and the back of the house, except for the ends of the house there'll be 2 layers of these cement blocks. These cement blocks are 8 inches high, 8 inches wide, and 16 inches long. They will go stack bottom level and top, middle level and top level. Now down the sides here, there's a special block that I bought because of where these frames are. This block is 2 inches thick, 8 inches wide, and 16 inches long. These blocks will set right here and will be mounting right here like so. So I won't have to trim these big blocks to fit in this area. The ends of the house, the back end of the house and the front end of the house where the tongues were mounted. Within my runners, I have my rebar run at increments apart, and they have to be 3 inches from the bottom of the run of the foundation, and they have to be 3 inches from the sides of the foundation. And they're held up by little seats, these little wire seats. You'll see where they have a dip here, they're evenly spaced, and this is where the rebar sets. And those set right on top of those, and then they're evenly spaced, and then we'll just pour this, and we tie the rebar together with wire so they don't come apart, and then we'll pour the foundation. My wife will be having knee pads on. She'll be down here screeding the concrete while I'm mixing the concrete with a cement mixer that my friends allowed me to use. Well, this is the conclusion of this narrative on this video. Join me in future videos when I put together my decking, put together the awning, and the front porch. Thank you for joining me at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm, and we hope to see you here again.